Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time. Good morning.
Good morning. Ho, ho.
Ho, ho. Woo! Wow, can you believe it's the end of the year? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Woo, what a year. What
Yeah.
a year. What a
And
year.
this is our third. I remember the first year we did this. We did 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And I
This is our,
know, and it's like,
third holiday.
yeah, it's the holiday season.
So much wild stuff going on. Well, I think, what was your approach to today's episode? I think you wanted to
I just thought it
in.
would be fun. Let's do a recap. Let's do a recap of all the fun things that happened in 2023. I kind of wanted to start off like, if you go back to like January, I believe Bitcoin was trading at around 16,000.
Yeah, probably.
And today it's trading around 44,000.
Oh, what time will do for you?
Ho, ho, hodl.
That's another shirt next year. Who knows? Anyway.
Right. That's a great shirt. We should. I know. And it's crazy because it's just like the bear market, especially this past one, brutal bear market. But again, the more time you're in crypto, the more you learn, you realize that you buy when the market is boring. When the market has dumped, it is moving sideways, and it never seems like we're going to go back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When it's not the topic of conversation, that's when you buy in. When it becomes a hot topic, that's when you know, yeah.
Yeah. And, it's going to be a hot topic in 2024. It's
Oh,
already starting.
Yep. Absolutely.
Did you see the Bitwise commercial?
Yeah, you posted. That's wild, isn't it? How things have changed so much. It's the old guy who used to talk about alcohol, some kind of alcohol, right?
Yeah, he's like a super famous person.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. And
Yeah.
everyone loved that commercial because
Oh,
it's
for
like,
sure.
I think he said something like, what's interesting? Bitcoin.
There you go. Well, it's
And
kind of
now
like
we
that
have,
Coinbase commercial that happened during the Super Bowl, and then all things went to hell in a handbasket shortly thereafter. But yeah.
yeah. And now Coinbase has their ad about how the current financial system is broken and we need a change and we have to build ourselves out of it
Yeah.
with this technology to create something better. Fidelity has a commercial for their spot Bitcoin ETF. And then I saw Circle came out with their commercial for USDC, very much surrounded around financial inclusion. And when I think about Circle and USDC, I just see that running on the Stellar blockchain, not so much Ethereum, just because of the high gas fees. I think Ethereum will fix their issues,
Yeah.
hopefully this year. But again, I would keep my eyes out on XLM for the year of 2024.
Oh my
That's all
gosh.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. Not financial advice.
None of it is.
Nope. But going down memory lane, do you remember, Kelly, we had all the bank crisis happen?
Sure do. Still fresh in the
We
memory
had,
banks.
right? So we had Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, First Republic Bank, right? First Republic Bank taken over by JP Morgan, who now holds over more than 10% of deposits, which is illegal, but they do it anyway.
Of course they do.
If they do it, it's fine. If crypto does something, it was really interesting because I spoke to some folks this week and so many questions about FTX. It seems to be like people are so hung up on that. And when you're new to crypto, it is really scary. Oh my goodness, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's like there's centralized exchange. When you created an account with FTX, you had to put your name, your number, your address, a picture of your driver's license. You probably had to take a picture of your face.
Yeah.
That's know your customer, anti-money laundering laws. It had nothing to do with cryptocurrency. It had to do with the fact that Sam and whoever participated in that fiasco didn't do the right thing. They did bad things with customers' money.
Exactly. Exactly. Has nothing to do with the industry.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, right? Just bad actors. And, we'll see what happens. Still waiting for his sentencing, but, we'll see how it goes. But again, we saw the money got sent to the political parties. We saw Sam Bankman-Fried thought it was a good idea to take customers' funds and, buy a house in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Live the life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but the thing I wanted to kind of touch base on is I was listening to George Gammon and I listened to some macro people and it was fun because I got to go through all the notes from the podcast, every single podcast for the past year. And you forget, right? Because we cover so many things. So when the bank started failing back in March 2023, they got bailed out by bank term funding loans, right? So it was a program for the banks so they wouldn't go out of business. They would help stabilize them. Well, that money, those bank term funding loans are due in March 2024.
Interesting.
Right. And then we had the Basel, right? We have like that meeting with the Bank of International Settlements, the International Monetary Fund, all of the central banks. They want the banks to have deposits on their balance sheets by March 2023. So I don't know. Do the banks have the money? Does your bank have any money? I don't know, but I do know, don't worry. Because the Treasury Department.
Anytime you say don't worry, it's like, uh-oh, what's next? Right?
The Treasury Department, what did they do? They printed $25 billion they allocated for an exchange stabilization fund. So did they print the money to bail out the banks and then print more money in the Treasury to set it aside for the $25 billion just in case? We'll see.
Yeah.
I am so excited for 2024.
Yeah, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be quite a ride, across the board on all topics, on all things.
Topics.
It really is kind of, like a 5-point harness. Just strap yourself in. Let's just see where we're going to go and what's going to happen. Who knows? But I'm in for it. I'm in for the ride. Whatever.
We're in it. And you know what? If there's more like destabilization in our current financial system, we're going to see Bitcoin and crypto do really, really well, like gold and silver. But Bitcoin and crypto seem to be doing much better. And this year going into 2024, there's going to be a lot more adoption. Okay, because they're actually being incorporated in the old financial system.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's so many back end changes that are happening that people aren't aware of. Absolutely. Adoption will be the word of the year.
Exactly. We have the spot Bitcoin ETF. January 10th is somewhere around, give or take a couple days. When the spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved, I don't know what's going to happen. But do you remember, because this is like the joy of going through my notes, I think it was October, just a couple months ago, there was a fake spot Bitcoin ETF approval.
Yep. Yep.
And what happened to the price of Bitcoin?
Oh my goodness, it
Shot up.
just really shot up really quick, which is not uncommon to have those black swan events, but this will be interesting to watch what happens in the market.
Right, right. And then, and then I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. Not that I forgot, but like, I didn't realize Coinbase was sued by the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, because they're selling unregistered securities.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lie, right? That court case is January 17th.
Oh, wow.
So the lawyer from Coinbase, I think his name is like Steve Agarwal or something like that. Something like that. He's going to ask the judge to dismiss the case because Ripple won their lawsuit when it came to XRP is not a security when traded on secondary exchanges.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would include Coinbase.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So we're going to have back to back massive, like amazing news because that Coinbase lawsuit is so big. I mean, Gary Gensler said it's not up to the SEC, right, to oversee cryptocurrency exchanges. It's not their job. It's Congress's job. But yet he turns around and sues them anyway.
I know well, it feels so much like a smoke and mirror show, because we know that, at least in my opinion, take that for what it's worth, and it's not worth a lot, but Coinbase has always been that chosen one anyway. So it's just like, let's just put this out here to put more fear in the market around the industry, and then it'll all be fine. It'll all be a wash in the end. But yeah, who knows?
But this is extremely bullish.
It is,
and
yeah.
I mean, I am so excited for January. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. When we got back to back, big things are happening in crypto. Big things are happening in crypto, so I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. But again, the SEC called out Cardano, Matic, Solana, Algorand. I mean, I think there was like 13 different tokens that claim to be securities. They're not securities. So if that case gets dismissed, that is such a big win for the cryptocurrency industry.
I can't remember on that when they did call out each of those projects. Were they suing each of those projects individually, or did they just kind of encapsulate them in this one? Am I correct in that? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we didn't see the same drops. Algorand really took a heavy hit,
Yeah.
But again, it's recovering. I checked the price of Algorand this morning. It was 20 cents, so it was like, I think it was like 12 cents. It had a really hard bear market, but these projects are coming alive and we're moving on up, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to have signed legislation come in 2024. Okay. So this year we saw a lot of bills get introduced, and Tom Emmer's bill is probably the best one. Anti-surveillance, anti-CBDC bill. We'll see what happens because, we got Senator Warren that basically wants to say everybody should go on a CBDC bill. She was in Congress with Jamie Dimon. Basically, Jamie Dimon was saying, Bitcoin should be banned. I don't think Jamie Dimon understands Bitcoin, because that was the whole point of Bitcoin, was to opt out of the current centralized system with the pump and dump schemes, right? So let's hold some Bitcoin because it's outside of the centralized control.
Well, doesn't Jamie Dimon hold quite a bit of Bitcoin? Isn't it
Of course he
reported?
does.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they all do. He
yeah.
did the DeFi swap with Aave and Matic.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Saying that for a lot of the people that may just be kind of tuning in, trying to figure out, are these guys telling I mean, these folks have been holding on to Bitcoin and acquiring it during the bear market. So, yeah.
Right. And it's interesting because, all of these companies are seeding their spot Bitcoin ETF. They're buying shares of MicroStrategy, right? If
Mhm.
you can't directly buy Bitcoin, well, why not buy some shares of Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, right? It's a
Right.
computer software company, but they hold all their money in Bitcoin. So that's a great way to have indirect exposure. And
Yeah.
we saw Vanguard, Bank of America, BlackRock. I mean, they're one of the largest investors now, right?
Yep.
So as Bitcoin moves from 16,000 to 44,000, now the flip side is going to be like, everybody come on in. We're going to see the narrative change. Bitcoin is the best thing since sliced bread, you know? So we can retail investors come up and pump all of the institutions' backs. We'll see how this plays out. But again, we kind of learn their game, so we know what's going on.
Indeed.
I love it. I love it. So, with that said, I also wanted to make mention of a couple of things. With these bills, something's going to get passed. Ripple, Kraken, and Coinbase came together, created a super PAC for pro-crypto legislators,
Hmm.
pro-crypto politicians, $78 million in their super PAC to get this done.
Awesome.
Something's going to happen this year. Something.
Oh, for sure.
They can't stop it forever. Even with Grayscale, like having to go and sue the SEC in 2023 because they were denying the spot Bitcoin ETF. The judges are on our side. The law is on our side. So I don't know. I mean, I can't stop being bullish. I'm so bullish.
I know. Again, ho ho hodl, right? That t-shirt.
Oh, 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 ho, hodl.
I love it. I love it. Great things are ahead for sure.
Yep. And then the rest of the Ripple lawsuit should be wrapping up. I think they have to pay a fine. So we're going to see what this is. You know, remember Sam Altman too with WorldCoin when everybody was running around scanning their face for proof of personhood.
For what? I'm sorry.
Proof of personhood. You prove that you're a person by scanning the iris in your eyes.
Pardon me.
And here's some WorldCoin for universal basic income globally. So that's their plan. I don't know what happened. I mean, Sam Altman, remember, he got booted out of OpenAI, and then the next day they brought
He's
him
back
back.
in. I know.
He's back. I don't know.
And we haven't heard anything about the world coin in a long time now. I mean, I haven't. You're
No.
much deeper into all of the layers and than I am, but I haven't heard anything, hide nor hair of that. Once that kind of is like got really quiet.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the WorldCoin, this year. But again, it's like scanning our iris, our retina, whatever it is, where does that data go? Who's collecting that data? Is ChatGPT centralized? Or it makes me a little uneasy, but this is also going to be the year of decentralized systems because you can do a search for a Akash network chat, and now we have a decentralized ChatGPT.
Ah, sweet.
And I'm like, bring it on. It's not very smart yet. I had to correct it a couple times.
Sure. But I think even Chat GPT needs to be corrected a little bit here. So
Well, Chat GPT, the free version is only up to like 2021.
yeah.
So this with Akash, it's like it's up to date, right? To today. The problem is it's like I'm asking it questions about itself and it's telling me it's built on the Solana blockchain. I'm like, you're not built on the Solana blockchain. You're built on Cosmos. Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you've
But
spent
it's
a lot more time in the Chat GPT world than I have at this point. I haven't spent too much time in the AI stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating
Mhm.
tool. I mean, if your job, if you can incorporate ChatGPT, it's a good co-pilot, especially if you
Absolutely.
produce content and all of the things. Um, but
Yeah.
I just like the fact that we're seeing some of these decentralized systems going live, being adopted and growing. I mean, I was waiting for Akash to go downtown Julie Brown. I'm still waiting. I think it will correct, but it hasn't yet. And it keeps inching up, inching up, inching up. So we'll see what happens. I think it's over $2.40.
Yeah, last I looked, and I haven't, I'm waiting for the end of the year to do some really deep analysis because I want to look at, the quarterly candles and the yearly candles and everything to see where we're at. And then it'll give me a good idea to look at possible retracement aspects.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
what the
That's right.
fractals look like.
Yeah. And we had Flux go live, just not live, but live within their testing, like they're
Mhm.
testing the proof of useful work. So again, like websites, documents, photos, all of the things that we can save on the cloud, we're going to own our own data in Web3. Okay,
Right.
that's a big difference between our current system and Web2 moving over to Web3. We're going to own, like Akasha's tagline, you will own your cloud and be happy.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that we're going to see social media change this year.
I think so too. I did throw some money at a project called Jam, a very little amount, which is a social media project on the blockchain.
I got to do research on it because I've been looking at DSO, decentralized social media,
Mhm.
and Lens Protocol. I've been following like well before it was like even launched. So we'll see what happens there,
Yeah.
you know. And I hope it just we got to clean this stuff up, right? Because when I'm on YouTube, I'm listening to my podcasts throughout the day. I mean, sponsored ads, right? Brad Garlinghouse, Charles Hodgkinson, the CEO of Solana, they're sponsored ads that are trying to take our crypto. It's
I
all
know.
AI.
I know. And if you're not paying attention, if you're new, you see this video of Brad Garlinghouse talking, and if you're listening to his voice, it sounds just like him, and he's got this message. But if you watch his mouth, I mean, it's like it's obviously fraudulent, or it's like, oh my gosh. And people, yeah, it's so tough. It's really difficult to discern what's real and what's not.
Exactly, exactly. So, it's the same thing. I remember with XRP, I'd met someone in the community a while ago, and she was so excited about the trust lines. I
Yeah.
never did it. And she was like, do you do the trust lines? I'm like, no. And that's all I said. Because the ledger hack is a good example. Again, it's like, someone got phished from the company. They were able to hack, and that was directly related to the toolkit, which gives you access to the trust line. The wallet itself is fine, but
Right.
again, they've had data leaks. They've had, that subscription service that, the whole point of having a hardware wallet is to be your own bank.
Right.
If you don't want to be your own bank, well, don't worry about it. You have Fidelity, you have BlackRock, you have Franklin Templeton. You are going to be able to buy Bitcoin, and that's just the beginning,
Right.
right? Everything that you're going to want to buy is on the centralized exchange. And if you trust them, sure, go for it, but in uneasy, uncertain times, I do want to keep some of my wealth offline until we stabilize,
Yeah.
right? We all agree this is what we're going to do moving forward and everything gets stabilized. So,
Yep. 5-point safety harness.
right?
All good.
5-point safety harness. Oh, so here's another fun thing I wanted to talk about because the Fed now app went live in 2023. And again, I know people are concerned about a central bank digital currency, but I want to break this down in two different ways. Okay, the Fed Now Payments app can do cross-border payments for all the different banks. wholesale, nothing to do with giving, regular people a central bank digital currency. It's a stepping stone. The infrastructure is there. Okay. But, what I'm looking at is that the FedNow app has partnered with 3 different fintech companies. All right. Ripple, Drop, and Cypherium. So, and it's not Ripple, it's Volante. But Volante incorporated RippleNet. Drop incorporated Hedera Hashgraph. Okay.
Sweet.
So let's just see what happens. Just want to throw that out. Okay.
Yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I love it.
Yeah, baby. We're going to be upgraded to the steak dinner soon in 2024.
I love it.
Because you know what else we saw happen? We saw the tokenization of real world assets start to take hold. We got Ethereum, we got Stellar, we got Polygon tokenizing the bond industry, as well as XDC. It's going to be so many. It's a big industry. But the tokenization, right, the tokenization of real world assets is here, and it's only going to get bigger. We saw HSBC, one of the largest global banks, tokenize gold.
I know, it's so sweet.
I don't know if we're just going to wake up one day and check the prices and be like,
gosh, it's crazy how much is gonna, and like you said, it's 2024 is going to be that year of adoption, and it's just going to blow everybody's mind. It'll blow our mind, and we're in it.
Yeah, and I can see things changing. I mean, we saw Elon Musk, right? He bought Twitter, rebranded it to X. Okay, X is partnered with a company called Vast, VAST.io, created by Jed McCaleb, who created Stellar. He was also one of the original co-founders of XRP. Okay. Now they have a big partnership. Vast.io is building the low orbit satellites. We know that X, I don't know, I'm speculating here, but Elon wants X to be a super app, a payments app. He was one of the co-founders of PayPal. He knows what he's doing. He's getting these electronic licenses. And when he has them for all 50 states, what's going to happen?
I don't know. Isn't Elon also, didn't he create, is it Gork?
That's right.
That his AI? Gork.
Yeah, that's his.
Greek.
Every platform's gonna have their AI.
Yeah. XLM, Stellar. Whew. That's really interesting.
It's very, very interesting. So, let's see what happens with that this year. But again, it's just, I don't know. It's so hard not to wake up and just be in a good mood. Know that we did it. We dollar cost average. We did the best that we could. And we're going to see how much money we made in the bull market, right?
Yeah. And, it's all cycles. So 2024 is still scratching the surface.
Definitely. So, I mean, we should be going into 2025. We don't know for sure, but I mean, there's just so many bullish things going on. I mean, I think, some of my favorite projects, obviously XLM, XRP, XDC, I love Chainlink. Okay. Chainlink is going to bring the Internet of Contracts, smart contracts, connecting Web 2 to Web 3.
Yeah. You just light up when you talk about this stuff. It's so cool. It is so cool. I love it.
I see it, and I see it being built. It's kind of like, it's really, if I just focus on like macroeconomics and everything that happens on a daily basis, I would probably just have an anxiety attack every day,
Right.
But when I look at what's going on with some of these projects and the adoption that's here and the adoption that's coming, it's really hard not to be hopeful.
Yeah.
One system is falling away and a new system is emerging. And which is why we taught that class about MELD, because MELD is the new DeFi banking protocol.
Yeah. And boy, Meld's charts are looking really nice. Really nice.
I mean, went over 2 cents, right?
Yes.
I'm watching a podcast tonight with Ken Alling, the CEO of MELD.
Mm.
He's going to talk about staking. MELD went through its auditing process and they passed it for staking. So we should have staking probably within the next couple of days. I'm going to listen. I think it's like tonight at like 5 o'clock.
Awesome.
I'll catch it. I'll keep everybody posted. But again, it's just like, this is a new decentralized banking system. It's called a neobank, where you can hold control of your own keys with your cryptocurrency, borrow against it in fiat, just so many different things. And now with the staking capability, with the total value locked, I'm so curious to see how many tokens are going to be locked up. There's all these different plans. You could do liquid staking, 6-month staking, a year staking, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's one of those projects where I'm like, if they can pull this off, it'll be super big.
Oh,
And
for sure.
I want this to happen,
Oh, yeah, to
because
have options. Absolutely.
yeah, and we saw what happened, with Celsius and FTX and Voyager and BlockFi. They were all centralized. They all didn't do right by us with like loaning out our money or just taking it, right?
Right.
So let's be in control of our own destiny and hold our own keys. So important. And
Yep.
that's why I love Meld,
That's going to
you
be
know.
fun. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah. I mean, you can take it. How nice would it be to just loan yourself your own money and pay yourself back
Exactly.
interest?
Exactly.
Sounds good.
Exactly. So I love it. And I'm watching the Cardano ecosystem. And we're going to take next week off. And when we kind of emerge back in January, I'll be covering some of the Cardano ecosystem because it's getting very, very frothy. I'm liking the development. I'm watching the ecosystem being built out, and I like what I see. So I want to fill everybody in.
Well, and Charles, he's always been, he's never backed down, which is great to see.
Yeah, I mean, whether you like him or not, he's speaking his truth, his version of the truth. And, it's a good project. Like, I'm watching it. We'll see what happens. And, with that said, we're kind of coming up into a new year. So we have some changes coming up.
We do have some changes. So I have decided that I am going to step away from the podcast. It is a YouTube thing for me. I'm ready to go within. I have a deeply esoteric path that I follow, and I'm just being called to get frozen in ice. So I'm going to heed that. And it's been coming on for quite a while for me, but it's just time. So, but it's going to be great to see what and how you birth it continuing forward. And I know I'll always be tuning in because there's so much knowledge
Definitely.
that you bring. But you know what? This, I think, really, Andrea, has been so much about bringing your light into the world and what you have to share in such a profound way, because you're impacting people's lives in such an amazing way. Beautiful work. And for me, I just need to step away. So,
Yeah.
but this is awesome stuff that
No,
you're
it's so
doing.
awesome. And we've been on such a good run. It's such a good journey.
Oh,
I
it is.
love you. Like, this has been awesome. And I'll
Absolutely.
still be doing the podcast, keeping everybody posted with my deep dives, with my research. Kelly's still going to be all around, right?
I'm still all
So,
around. I just need to go frozen for a while. I feel like I need to go deep, deep, deep in. So it's good. Navigating the threads. We have lots of threads to navigate, and this is one of them. So,
yep, yep. So awesome. And we'll always bring you on as a guest if you ever do want to come back.
of course, of course. It's very, very cool. So, yeah. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, those specifics, but there's really not a whole lot to share outside of just seeing what's going to be birthed. It's pretty cool.
It's gonna be a great year. So
Yep.
everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, any holiday, you celebrate, we're wishing you all the best. And until next year, Kelly, what are we going to do?
Well, we're going to send our love to everybody. I love you, my dear friend. And we're
I
going
love you.
to
Hodl on.
Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomenencrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, hodl on.